Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on when you're watching this or where you're watching this, Wolves fans. Something a bit different for us on Fancast this week. Rather than doing our usual live stream, we're going to do some individual videos discussing and previewing the upcoming game against Newcastle on Sunday at 4:30. I think it'll be a tough game for Wolves. Newcastle are a good side. They'll be thereabouts when it comes to the European places this season. But it's a game that we should be targeting to get some points from, or at least a point from. Should be going for all three. Obviously, our home games need to turn Molineux into a bit of a fortress, and I think we've got the scope to do that, to get something from the game. First topic of conversation is Jose Sarr or Sam Johnstone between the six for Wolves. I think O'Neill will go with Johnston. I think there was a line in the sand drawn on his signing. You don't spend £10 million on a goalkeeper as a backup, especially if we're in this kind of self-sustainable model that Fosun have put us in. So I think Johnston will start. Sarr, I think, probably will be on the bench. I don't think he'll be happy with it, but I think he will be the professional and go on the bench for us. The other next topic is back three or a back four. Again, I think there has been a bit of a line in the sand on that, and I think Gary O'Neill will stick with this four. I think the only kind of variable is whether he plays Totti at centre-back or whether he plays Totti at left-back for that extra solidity defensively and height and aerial presence more than anything, because Newcastle are a very big team and set pieces will be important on Sunday. Newcastle's danger men, I think Alexander Isak and Anthony Gordon would be the ones that I'd pinpoint for them. They're just deadly in front of goal. Gordon has that uncanny knack of just being annoyingly efficient at everything that he does, and he's a very competent footballer. Isak has that stardust, and he can create something out of nothing. But they've also got that midfield, which, moving on to Wolves' key players, I think that our midfield will be integral on Sunday. Lemina's fitness is a question mark, so if Lemina doesn't make it, then potentially you're going to be. I think Andre will go straight in to give that extra robustness in the middle, but as well as that, like a experienced head. Even though he's very young, he's played these high octane games, and South America is very high octane when it comes to its football. So I think he'll be perfectly suited. Plus, he's playing against Joelinton and Bruno Guimaraes, who are the same, so they'll know each other inside out a little bit, especially Bruno. So it'll be good for him to be in there. Bit of familiarity for him, knows what he's up against, that kind of thing. So he'll go straight in. Lemina, if Lemina doesn't make it, could be Tommy Doyle. So you'll have kind of Tommy Doyle, and then you have Andre, and then you have João Gomez, which if we win that battle in the midfield, then I think it could go either way, because Newcastle have got a very good midfield. But I think score prediction, I think it will be a Desmond. I'm going for 2-2. And I think, not to state the obvious and the easy options, but I'm going to go for Strand Larsen and Mateus Cunha as the goal scorers for Wolves. And I probably would take that. I'd leave Molineux happy on Sunday if that is the result. But yeah, I'll be there. S3, if you see me in or around the stadium, or you see me in the pub beforehand, not sure which one yet, but probably the Hogs or George Wallace, come say hello. Have a good weekend, Wolves fans, and see some of you on Sunday.
All right, general thoughts of the week. I'm just having a quick look now. The release of the third shirt this week hasn't gone down well with most of the Wolves fans due to colour not being the greatest for the look of it. I think in person it'd be a bit different as usual. But obviously a lot of upset fans, very, very underwhelming. A lot of negativity around the ground again about that, which shouldn't be just from a football kit. Looks like Mascara's potentially suffered some injury, potentially over the week for international duty. He's got a double leg cramp today from training, so maybe a doubt for tomorrow. As for Sarr or Johnson, I've got Johnson for me. Better distribution with the ball for our quicker momentum, which is what we want in our attacks now. We want to be breaking quicker and be more accurate with the passing, especially from the goalkeeper wise. Johnson isn't far off Sarr, personally, for me, for being shot stopper wise. Sarr's still the better shot stopper, but obviously Johnson has better feet, so that's what we're currently looking at. Back three or four, as you asked earlier. Personally, I go with a back three, bring in obviously Dawson and Mascara to play together with someone else. We don't know who yet. Maybe it'll be Totti, but that's who I do it. and obviously give Ryan Aït-Nouri a chance then to be a proper wing back, same as Semedo, rather than a left back where he's been poor to say the least this season. So it gives him a bit of a chance anyway. Danger men for the opposition. Isak, classy, looks like to be the dominant number 9 for them in attack, but don't look too far past Harvey Barnes. It was a great start to the season, has impressed so far. So for me, those two stand out for now. Key Wolves players, it's going to depend on formation for me. I've got on my danger list is, key players even, sorry. Dawson, if we play a back 3, and him obviously coming in as maybe as the middle of the 3. And obviously Andre potentially starting over Lemina as well, because he's meant to have had a knock as well from international duty. So Andre might get his first start to rest Lemina. Prediction for Sunday, 2-2. Got Gordon to score first for them, but I think we'll get back in it with Rodri and Kuna as well. So fingers crossed.
Hi Wolves fans, Tom from the Fancast here. I hope you all had a good break. Ready for the proper football to restart this weekend. It's a big game on Sunday for me against Newcastle. I think although it's way too early to be hitting the panic button, I think you just don't want to be going into that tough game against Villa away, sitting on 1 point from 4 games. So while I shouldn't be underestimating Newcastle, I think this is an opportunity we sort of need to take to really get our season up and running and get some significant points on the board. I think Johnson stays for me. I think a slightly shaky start, but I think he acquitted himself pretty well on his debut at the City ground, and I think it's pretty clear that he's O'Neill's man. I don't think a club in our position spends 10 million on a 31-year-old goalkeeper to sit on the bench. So I think barring a catastrophic drop in form, I think it's going to be his shirt, at least until January, when I think obviously Sarr will inevitably be moved on. Regarding formation, I'll be honest, I wasn't one of these fans who was desperate to be changing from the 3 at the back. To be honest, I think it's generally done as well over the last few years, and even last season. You look at where were we, 7th, 8th maybe before the injuries really sort of curtailed our season. Playing with a 3, so I didn't really think it was an issue, to be fair. But I do think that the 4 is here to stay, and I think the addition of Andre just sort of clarifies that really. I think he's been brought in as an anchor and as a proper sort of shield in front of that, in front of the back 4, and I think he'll come straight in, and I think he'll be key to sort of nullify Newcastle's main threat of Guimaraes. I think he's just a top player. Whenever I watch him play, he's just fantastic. Everything Newcastle generally do well goes through him. And I think how well we handle him might be sort of decide our fate in this game really. But you've got to hope with Andre and hopefully Gomez and Lemina in there, you've got enough sort of energy and competitive nature to really sort of dictate the games on our terms. The threats to them, I suppose it's hard to look past Gordon. I think although he had probably a mixed start to his Newcastle career, he seems to really hit a bit of form recently. Although playing on Semedo's side, I'll back Semedo against most wingers in the league, to be fair, Matoma apart. So let's hope he can have a good game and really take that threat away from them. And then obviously you've got big man up top, Isak, dual threat striker, which is always a worry for me. Good in the air, but it's got the sort of pace and power to get in behind and really cause some issues. And I think he'll be looking to isolate Dawson, particularly if we're in a higher line, to get some joy. Let's hope he has a quiet one. And then for us, I think Boris and also Semedo and Andre have already mentioned. I think we've just got to rely on a bit of magic from Kuna up top, or hopefully Larson to really have a good performance. I think he's had a half decent start, and so I like what he's about. But I think there's a real good performance in there somewhere, hopefully just around the corner, just to really sort of rubber stamp his status as our new number 9. as I say, it's not going to be an easy game, but I'd be cautiously optimistic that maybe we can squeak a 2-1 win with Larson getting another goal for us. So let's cross our fingers. Come on, you Wolves.
The game at the weekend, I think it's a big one. I think we need to really at least come away with the point. I think really we need 3 because this feels like our best opportunity of a win so far. Obviously, they're a really good team, not to deny that. We have been really stiff with the start, haven't we? We've not really had any winnable games as such. But I'm just looking forward to it as well. I think this is a great opportunity. We caused them a lot of problems at Molineux last year. And, that was just under the start of O'Neill's tenure. So it should be a really good game. I'm proper looking forward to it. Geordie, always bring a good away crowd and things like that. And it feels like they're in a little bit of turmoil off the pitch as well. So maybe it's a good chance for us to capitalise. Obviously, key players, we know what they're going to bring. That great midfield, especially with Tonali back as well now. Tonali and Jolinton bringing out to class midfield, that isn't it? And then, when you look, they're scattered with quality everywhere. Obviously up front as well, they've got Isak and Gordon, 2 quality players there. Isak in particular is a £100 million player. Great pick up by Newcastle, that was. Obviously, and just on to Wolves, obviously we've had a lot of talk about the goalkeeper the past couple of weeks. I think it's pretty clear Johnson's going to start. Wolves aren't spending 10 million quid on the keeper to come and sit on our bench or, in competition. He's going to start. It's a bit of a shame for Sarr. Obviously, I think the big thing will be Wednesday. If he plays over Bentley against Brighton, that'll be a key thing to look at. It depends to see how well he's fitting with the team at the minute. Obviously, key players for Wolves that we've discussed about. I think we're going to go to midfield 3. I think Andre is going to start. I think that's going to be big. Be interested what he does at left back, whether he keeps Totting because of that bit of physical presence, especially against that Newcastle team that's got, they've got big players everywhere, front, midfield, defence. They're going to be a threat off set pieces. It's going to be a big game. Hopefully we can pick up our game off set pieces after the last couple, conceding 2 in the last 2 in the Premier League off set pieces, especially to the opposition striker. And on top of that as well, I think the big question is what we're going to do up front. We obviously, Cunha and Larson are 100% dead certs to play. It's what we're going to do with that one last position. Is he going to bring in, he's going to keep out Newey there? Do you stick with Bellegarde, that bit of form? Obviously, it's depending, he's playing, I'm saying he's going to play free midfield. Is he going to play Hwang? Got a good, he's already got a good record against Newcastle. Does he play Sarabia? You know what I mean? There's so many choices. Forbes, Rodrigo Gomez, there's so many choices. He's got that final position. It feels like we've got about 8 players to fit one, and it's a bit crazy considering what we've suffered with last season at times. So predictions, I'm going to go 2-1 Wolves. I really fancy us as well. I think it's a really good chance for us to capitalise on this bit of Newcastle issue. They've not looked great in the first 3 games. The bits I've watched have not looked particularly great, but they seem to find a way to get the results. You're not going to keep doing that. Hopefully we can be the first ones to benefit from that ability, and we can pick up some points ourselves, because I think we need it. You don't want to go into Liverpool, Villa, Brighton in the Cup, Brentford. These are big games that without a win, and the pressure really mounts up. Obviously, as I alluded to earlier, please join that space tomorrow. I'll be on. If anything, we're more than happy to talk about anything Wolves related, anything third kit, transfers. If you want to talk about the game, that's more that, what ideal first 11, things like that. We can even talk about Barclays, man, obviously with all that that's going on in the international break. But thank you all for watching. We do really appreciate it, and please join that space tomorrow. We'd really appreciate it.